right. Both streams should be up and running now. Give them just an extra second here before we get started. We got about 2 minutes until the close, so we'll take a look at the uh, closing price here shortly. Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for March 30th, 2022. Q's down 1.2%. SPY down 0.75. Okay, we do still have a little bit of time left. I don't expect the Q's and SPY to change all that much. All right. But we are getting a little bit of what I wanted to see, which I thought, maybe we won't get it till tomorrow, but we're getting it here, which is nice. Which is a little bit of a bounce first. Okay, so as you can see here, we've gotten a pullback to the rising 20 MA here on the SPY, Qs as well. What I'm thinking we get tomorrow, maybe a little bit of a move up, maybe a small gap up, okay? And then if we do, that actually will be perfect for the most bearish scenario. A little bit counterintuitive, but I want to see this pivot form, okay? Underneath this pivot, underneath today's low, especially if we get a move up tomorrow morning, and then come in and break it, okay? Short-term bearish. Okay, because we do have this multiple bar move up into resistance. Okay, so we've been talking about this for a few days. It's been the last few days kind of tough to be wanting to start new longs here. Been looking for a meaningful pullback on the daily here on the Qs and SPY. And we said, well, we're going to have to, get a break of the hourly first if we're going to break down on the daily, because the hourly is going to show it to us first. That's going to happen before the slower time frame can start moving down. So we are testing that 20 MA here. If we can move up and fail, that'll be a buy setup failure, and then we can start to look for a deeper pullback into the rising 20 here on the daily. Now, again, this pullback, I'm not expecting a bearish pullback, not a very deep pullback, but we'll see as the hourly, if it goes into a downtrend, which would be perfect if tomorrow morning we move up first and then we break. Why? Because that'll give us a lower high wherever this moves up to, and then once we break, that'll be our lower low, and we'll have a downtrend. Okay. So going into tomorrow, still neutral for me now. We have been bullish the last few days. I'm going to move to neutral as we are starting to weaken a little bit on this hourly trend. And then if we get a break of today's low, then I'll just be bearish, okay? I would like to see us move up first just to confirm. That would be a little bit more bearish, but short-term bearish on the hourly until kind of the daily comes into support, and then the hourly transitions back up, okay? Overall, larger time frames, though, have to be bullish. Weekly has gotten the bounce now. Monthly is a buy setup. Daily has ended the downtrend. So there's no downtrend in place on any of these time frames. It's really just the weekly that's looking like trying to recover from the break of that weekly trend. But I can't be bearish on that. Not after that engulfing bar and then the follow through. Okay. All right. Now, those of you that might have seen the title of this video may be wondering, what is it that I'm saying that will never happen again? I don't think it will ever happen again. And that is a play of this magnitude on the AKBA. Okay? Not that things like this, a drop of 66% or a move of 66%, won't ever happen again in some way, shape, or form. But it's not going to be something that I mention and give ahead of time. I'm almost sure that I won't ever put out another play that works for 37 Rs. 37 times what you risk. Okay? Let's go through it. Spoiler, I of course was not in it until when it did this, got halted and dropped. Okay? So here was the play. Okay, this was the put this out this morning as a breakdown right here. Okay, so this was the initial idea, okay, to play it here. Okay, like this. Basically take all of this, put it all together, weak. Okay, as a 1 minute base breakdown. Look at the 20 MA catch up. Okay, now, I mean, I actually, I don't get accused of this a lot, but I don't ever actually, because I go over plays that don't work. But if you say you saw this play and you saw this big bar and you're like, how do I know that's actually your play? How do I know that you actually put that out ahead of time? This is for people not in the room and didn't see it. Okay? You just look at the other plays. What did we do recently, right? The stone was a 5-minute base breakdown. It's the same play. It's the same play. Here it is. Stone, base, breakdown, 20 MA catching up. Even this IMGN, which ended up being a break-even play at the open, okay, off the 1 minute here, all right, is the same play. It's just a 1 minute base breakdown at the lows on something that is gapping down. Here it is. Okay, there it is, basing, gapping down. Now, on a gap, I don't care about the 20 MA because the gap, by nature of the gap, is going to be, it's the 20 MA is going to be extended, especially on the one. I don't care about the 20 MA until after the first 30 minutes because there's no way this is going to catch up to the gap. Okay, so these are all, they're just the same play. Okay, they're just a gap down and then a base breakdown. Okay, so there it is, base breakdown. Now, someone mentioned in the room as this was getting ready to go that this was also good on the level 2. So ended up, okay, I'm not going to do it as a chart play. I decided I'm going to do it as a scalp. Okay, which was good. It was a scalp. I added to it on the way down. I did jump out here at like 212 something because I thought it was going to flip. See the volume come in, and there were times where the bid got strong, but then it broke. So I had to get back in and then got in for a little bit and then it flipped again. I didn't make that much on that move. Went lower again. Okay. And then eventually we got to 2, and then around 2 is when we got the bounce. Now, if I had played this as a chart play, let's say I didn't see someone mention that it was actually good for scalp and I played it as a chart play. To be honest, I don't think I would still be in it when it started to bounce here because off of this play, which is a 4-cent stop, this is about 4 Rs. You go 4 Rs and you don't have anywhere to trail, there's no pivots, I would probably take the whole thing. I'm pretty sure if I had played it that way, I would have taken the whole thing. So I don't think I would be in any of it when it did this. Okay, now I probably should have maybe done it a little bit more smoothly as far as the scrolling, but here we get halted over lunch and then it drops. Okay, so it drops from here, which is 201 to 82 cents. Okay, so the low on that is like 6.7. I just round that up to 6.8, and then if the max on that is 37 Rs. So pretty incredible. I don't think I'll ever have a call play like that. And even then, like I said, if I had played it as a chart play, I don't think I would still be in it. Now, of course, I hope that something like this will happen tomorrow on my very next play, on my first play, I mean. But yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. I don't think anybody is still in it. And actually, I did try scalping this. I lost a penny or two overall on trying to scalp it again. I think I scalped it as it broke here to 201. Okay, and then I think the other one was it might have been the next one. No, but I tried it twice. I was on the mic too, and I was saying I'm trying it here, or okay, it's not going. I'm gonna get out when if it strengthens anymore. So this was really nice, and then it just it stopped working after that, after the initial drop. Of course, it's dropped a lot. It needs to kind of digest the move, but man, I don't think I'll ever call a play like that ever again. At least for like a day trade with this many Rs, even a swing trade for that big of a move, whether you're talking about percentage or whatever in a day. Just that's an amazing one. In the afternoon here, I played the hills. And I was kind of thinking, I was like, man, is this gonna get halted? Wouldn't that be funny if I played the hills and then I got halted and then it actually opened against me and I got out early on the hills and that got halted and then went in my favor. So that was what was on my mind. But this went climactic on this hills. I played it over 210 here. I just want to make sure that initial pop didn't get sold. So it was 210 by 190. And so that was okay. Not as good as the AKBA, although it was at one point. But I was kind of late getting out of this on the hills. because it flipped so fast. I think when I got out, I was already like 20 cents off the highs, because it moved up, and then I was like, I really want to trail this, just 1 minute bar by bar. I don't want to get shaken out if it really, really goes. And it flipped really fast. So on the hills, but this didn't get halted. It just went climactic. But here's the daily on this. I don't think I showed you. I'll show you the daily on Bull. Here's the hills. It was just really bullish already. Market was coming in. This was showing a lot of relative strength. And then AKBA was breaking this base. So we were getting in it under 216. So underneath this base, looked like had room to maybe 180, 190. And then it got halted and dropped hard. So that was the AKBA. This was the hills, which, yeah, I wanted to stick with this. But yeah, it just trailed real fast on the hills and would have come all the way back down. So this one was not scalpable because of the spread. So it had like 5-6 cent spread all most points, and even worse up at the top. But it was just a 15-minute base breakout. That's all that was. Okay, just a base right there, and then there it goes. So some a little bit of volatile stuff on the hills. The AKBA was actually pretty controlled, but then an amazing drop after that. So yeah, kind of a eventful day, not like what I expected. I mean, so different than yesterday. Get in some plays, manage them as they kind of grind whatever, and then close them at the end of the day. Today was just a lot of kind of incredible stuff. So yeah, hopefully you're able to, if you're in the room, catch one or both these plays. But it's something that we definitely don't see every day. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's market wrap. Hope you had a nice day. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.